Welcome along to a new video. Now, I was offered the chance one time to make a heck of a lot of money, and anybody that's watching this part of the video in particular is going to be like, class, who doesn't want to make a lot of money in life? Depends how you are meant to make the money. I had literally just passed my driving test, and I was on my R plates on the car, and I was out for an evening for a little drive. As you do, you pass your test, you get out there. I was driving my parents' car. This is how quick it was into actually passing the driving test. I hadn't my own car at this stage, so I had borrowed my parents' car. And, I was out just cruising around the next town over from us. Back in the 90s, there was this, the place to be was a car park for the people that were new drivers and whatnot. Like, people just hung out there, parked up beside other people and had little chats. Like, you want to be my friend? So I'm out this one evening, and I'm actually sitting on my own at one point. Got out beside the car and I was standing having a cigarette, and these two guys approached me. Now, I'm going to be a little bit vague on some of the details of this story, but as we're moving through it here, you'll start to realize why I'm vague about a few of the details. But trust me, whatever you are assuming about these details, chances are you're probably right. So get the offer of making a heck of a lot of money very fast, and that's the first red flag. Making money, a lot of money incredibly fast, yeah, doesn't really happen unless you are lucky enough to win the lotto or something like that. But earning a heck of a lot of money, I mean, this is fantastic money. These two guys walk up to the car. They're easily, at that stage, I would think they were probably in their 40s. So chances are they've maybe passed away at this stage, because like, you're talking 30 odd years later. So they're like, if they're still living, they're well into their 70s now at this point. But I'm sitting there leaning against the side of the car. These two men roll up on me, and do you want to make a bit of money, kid? And I'm like, naive. I says, why do you need a lift somewhere? And one of them was like, no, we need you to go to this is going to sound completely unbelievable. Trust me, it happened. We need you to go to a house, pick something up for us, and take it to another house. I know, red flags all over the show at this point. And even as naive as I was back then, at this point, I was just like, this does not sound above board in any way, shape, or form. And the guy told me the address he wanted. We're going to be very vague on where he wanted me to go and where he wanted me to go to after I picked up whatever they were looking. But here came the tease, the real tease, and the temptation to actually follow through in this. And it was the money that these two guys was offering for me to do this. And it was like, I was kind of like, this is my parents' car. I don't have much money. I can't afford that length of a trip here on my own. I don't want to take the car back to my parents with no fuel in it. And he says, that's okay. We're going to give you £250 now. And once we get a confirmation that the package, whatever it was, arrives at the other place, we'll give you a call and we'll give you another £250. So you're talking about, altogether, if it did do it, the whole thing would have taken, journey time included, probably 2 hours, and £500 for 2 hours work is absolutely crazy. And the sort of thing that, as a young kid that's just passed his driving test and hasn't got his own car at that stage, very, very tempting, I have to say. And for a split second I had considered actually doing it, but I was just like, you know what, this just doesn't sound like something I want to get involved in. And I just politely told them, I was like, thank you, but I'm not interested. And you know, as far as I'm concerned, you didn't even ask me. And they were like, fair enough, and they walked off. So yeah, whatever assumptions you have made about that little story, chances are you're 100% right. And you know, that's the sort of thing you don't want to get into, because if you did start to do that sort of thing to get back out of it, could be, you know, it couldn't be that easy to get out of it. And yeah, some of you might even be thinking, you know, perhaps you're assuming a lot right here. They might be legit. Trust me, they weren't. I actually did know a fella that did take up that sort of deal and was doing it. And the only reason I know for a fact that he was doing it was because he was the sort of person that had to brag about it and how much money he was making doing this and that for whatever. And as I say, if you start that thing, getting out of it might not be that simple, because this same guy that was doing all the bragging about whatever he was doing, as actually not that long ago I looked him up on social media, and the current job that he's doing, uh, it's not a huge paying job. It really isn't a huge paying job. But I've looked through his personal photographs and his uh, history online, and the lifestyle he's leading is not the lifestyle of someone doing the job that he's doing, or his partner is doing. It's like, you know, I'm talking, the bragging that I heard from this guy was in the uh, probably 1998, 99 zone of time. And you know, just judging from his lifestyle now, chances are he's still doing this sort of thing. So, you know, it's one of these little stories that, you know, probably shouldn't really be talking about, but it is what it is. And I couldn't care less who has a problem with it, to be fair. But yeah, little story time. Money can be easily made, and a heck of a lot of it can be easily made in little to no time. But are you actually willing to do something that you know, in my humble opinion, I couldn't sleep at night if I did take that job and do the things that these guys were wanting to do, and this other guy actually did go through and do for them and whatnot. And you kind of thinking to yourself, you know what? If you actually just sat down and started thinking about the effect, and again, been very vague on what was in these packages, but you know, the effect that that would have on the lives of people, you know, and perhaps even the deaths of people. You know, I'm just thinking to myself, you know, can this guy actually sleep at night thinking, you know, how many people aren't here anymore because of the little part I played in a post office job, let's just say. Yeah, so it is what it is. Cautionary tale, if nothing else, if you are a new driver. Yeah, we've cracked the jokes over the years about people that only pass their driving test, and you see the R plate up there, the in the UK here, it's like if you're learning, you get an L plate, little thing you stick in the window has an L on it, so you're a learner. Then when you pass, you're restricted for a year, so you get the little square with the R on it. And the amount of people you see over the years that are driving huge flash cars that are unreal amounts of money, and they have their R plate on there. We have cracked the joke over the years that, you know, that's either daddy's car or they're running. Again, been very vague with that word. It is what it is. Be careful. If you're a restricted driver, you just got your license, chances are there's someone out there that's going to try and get you to do something that's not necessarily above board. And the only person that's ever going to fail in that scenario would be you if you were carrying it out. You are the person that will get lifted at the end of the day, not these other guys that are putting you up to it. So yeah, story time.